See, we have a device that will measure our air quality. It measures radon, it measures industrial fumes, it measures humidity, it measures, I don't know, like 6 or 7 things. It's pretty cool. Joan sends me this text saying, hey, what's going on there? Because she sees, our industrial fumes thing is just sort of steady and low and no problem. And then it just sort of spikes up in a major way because there was basically no industrial fumes at all. And I'm like, no, I don't know what's going on. So I start looking around and I go up the stairwell, and about midway through the stairwell, I smell smoke. I'm like, oh, that's weird. Well, maybe somebody's burning something. So I go all the way up and I'm looking around. I don't see anyone burning anything. So I come back down, and again, about midway through, I smell it again. And I'm like, that's weird. Because in the stairwell, there's these baffles. So I go and check out the one side of the baffles, which is the fan room. And I'm like, yeah, I can still smell a little bit in here, but it's not that strong. Not like it is in the stairwell. The other side of the stairwell, that room, it was really strong in there. I could smell it. And at first I'm like, I don't know what it is. And I looking around, and I could see there was a little bit of smoke. And I'm like, well, why would there be smoke? Like, what in here is electrical that would create smoke? Because there really is nothing except for the lights. So it looks like there was something shorted out in one of the lights, and it either arced or broke or something, and they're fluorescent lights, and so it released some fumes. Fortunately, you can kind of close off that part of the bunker, and it does have some air vents up there. And so I went up and I opened some of the doors at the top of our stairwell, in hopes that it would clear out some of that smell. It's still there. It might take a little while. And funny thing is just yesterday as I went shopping, I'm looking at a fan, at an industrial fan, and thinking, I kind of thinking maybe I need this, but I can't really think for what for. So I'm like, no, I guess I'm not going to get this industrial fan. I got to save for other things because I got a lot of projects to work on here. And it all adds up. And every single renovation show, they always go over budget. And so, I'm just trying to be as careful as I can. So I decided not to get the fan, and now I'm like, maybe I should have gotten that fan. One of our concerns is radon mitigation. Basically what we'd like to see is our levels of radon be the same as it is outside, right? And so that's not always realistic, but that's sort of the goal in mind. So we've been looking at different ways of mitigating radon, and radon's not something that's going to kill you right away. But it is something that over time, it is carcinogenic, so it can cause cancer. So it is something you have to be careful about. The thing is when you mitigate radon, usually what they do is they bore a hole into the slab. Our slabs are at least 2 feet thick. I've heard that the rebar in it is like 2-3 inches wide. And I think actually this slab is probably more, because I would imagine the base of the bunker is more than the walls, and the walls are 2 feet. And our bunker is actually a Faraday cage, so it's got metal around it, so it's EMP shielded from any type of nuclear explosion or whatever. It'll be protected. I don't want to dig into that and ruin something like that. I've been trying to figure out, is there other ways of mitigating radon other than drilling holes into your foundation? Even if that's the only way, chances are it's going to cost more than I probably will even be quoted for, because I just foresee issues happening. I mean, not only do you have to do that, but you also have to take it out. And so I've also got 2 feet of reinforced concrete on my ceiling. So it's complicated. There are places to take it out. There are some ventilation systems built into this, but it's complicated.